A recent 2025 winter style study revealed something most women over 60 have never been told. The wrong combination of winter colors, fabrics, and silhouettes can quietly add 8 to 12 visual years. Not because of age, but because winter light is harsher, colder, and far less forgiving on mature features. And the surprising part: most women aren't doing anything wrong. They're simply trying to stay warm, safe, and comfortable in a season that demands practicality. But somewhere between the heavy coats, dim colors, and bulky layers, many begin to feel like their reflection no longer matches the vibrant woman they still feel inside. That's exactly what happened to Solindra Hale, a 66-year-old retired jazz pianist from Detroit. She adores winter, the quiet mornings, the soft snow, the comfort of hot cocoa. But one December evening, while scrolling through holiday photos, she stopped on an image taken beneath bright store lights. Standing beside her granddaughter, she barely recognized herself. The coat she'd worn for years swallowed her shape, the color washed out her skin, and the heavy scarf drew her face downward. She said later, "It looked like life had dimmed me, and I knew that wasn't true." That moment stirred something deeper. Winter shouldn't erase a woman's presence. It shouldn't hide her elegance or mute her personality. You deserve to feel visible, expressive, and confidently yourself, no matter the weather. Before we go further, if anything in this already feels familiar, tap like and hit that hype button. It helps push this message to more amazing women over 60 who deserve to feel seen every season. And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. Mistake 1. Wearing winter colors that quietly drain your glow. Every winter, women over 60 across the US unknowingly fall into the same pattern. They wrap themselves in dark, heavy colors because they feel practical, neutral, and dependable. But the strange truth is that these very colors, black, charcoal, deep brown, and certain shades of navy, often work against mature skin, especially in winter. Cold light, dim afternoons, and harsh indoor bulbs create an unforgiving environment where dark fabrics draw every bit of brightness away from your face. Instead of light bouncing upward to soften features, these colors pull the glow downward, creating shadows that weren't even there. It's not aging, it's the contrast between the fabric and the skin. Most women never realize this until a photo exposes it. Not because the picture is bad, but because winter's environment emphasizes every shadow. This is why a woman can feel vibrant inside yet look washed out or fatigued on camera. It's unsettling because it doesn't match the energy you feel inside. And when that disconnect shows up again and again, it can quietly chip away at your confidence without you noticing. This is exactly what Solindra Hale experienced. She spent decades believing black was the most elegant choice, especially in winter. But last year, during a holiday brunch, her niece took a photo of her by the window. The sunlight was soft, the moment was warm, but the picture showed something else entirely. Solindra looked dim, almost swallowed by her outfit. She didn't look older, she looked muted, as if someone turned the brightness down. Later, when scrolling through those photos, she felt a strange distance from her own reflection. "Why don't I look like I felt that day?" she wondered. A few weeks later, while browsing a boutique in downtown Detroit, a stylist handed her a coat in a shade she never would have picked, winter sage. Light, muted, calm. She hesitated, because it felt like stepping outside the comfort zone she'd lived in for so long. But she tried it on. That single moment became a turning point. Her skin looked brighter, her eyes clearer, her smile more defined. It wasn't dramatic, it was gentle, like someone lifted a veil. When she stepped outside into natural daylight, the effect became even more noticeable. Winter sage didn't overpower her. It supported her. That discovery sent her on a quiet winter experiment, testing different colors not with fashion rules in mind, but with her reflection in mind. Soft cranberry made her cheekbones look alive. Dusty blue softened the lines around her mouth. Cocoa lifted her jawline instead of pulling it down. These weren't loud or youthful colors, they were simply kind to her. Many senior creators online are experiencing the same thing. On TikTok and Instagram, women over 60 are showcasing the power of these gentle winter shades through the fast-growing oxygen color trend. These colors aren't pastel, they're not neon, they're not trying too hard. They're shades designed to bring the face forward instead of letting it disappear into winter darkness. They create space, soften harshness, and give the complexion room to breathe. This isn't about giving up black forever. It's about balancing the parts of your outfit closest to your face. If your coat is dark, choose a lighter scarf. If your sweater is deep navy, pair it with soft pearl or winter rose near the neckline. The goal isn't to change your style, it's to give your natural glow the chance to come through again. So here's my question to you. Have you ever looked at a winter photo and felt like it didn't match how alive you felt inside? Drop your experience in the comments. It may help another woman realize the glow she's missing isn't gone. It's just waiting for the right color to bring it forward. Mistake 2. Layering so much that your shape disappears. When winter settles in, most women over 60 respond the same way. They start adding layers. One for warmth, one for comfort, one just in case. It's not vanity, it's instinct. The cold feels sharper, the wind feels stronger, and joints feel more sensitive. Many women layer up not just to stay warm, but to protect themselves. A bit of extra coverage around the neck, a thicker sweater to guard the shoulders, a padded vest to ease back tension. Each piece serves a purpose. But over time, all those practical additions stack up until the original shape underneath disappears. Instead of creating warmth, the layers create a box. A comfortable box, yes, but a shape that can make even the most elegant woman look shorter, rounder, or swallowed up by her clothes. Winter layering wasn't always this way. Years ago, a coat was enough. But with age comes a deeper awareness of temperature changes. Bones feel the cold differently. Muscles tighten more easily. Some fabrics irritate the skin. And so, the cycle begins. A long sleeve, then a cardigan, then a vest, then a coat. Each piece feels necessary until suddenly the outfit becomes less about style and more about survival. This would be fine, if it didn't unintentionally erase the natural lines that make your silhouette beautiful. When too many bulky layers stack at the torso, shoulders, and waist, they blur the shape of your body. The curves that once added softness and femininity disappear under fabric that piles rather than flows. Even a tall woman can look compressed under bulky winter clothes. And while warmth is important, so is feeling like yourself. Solindra Hale didn't fully understand this until a moment she still remembers vividly. Last February, she attended a winter market with her friends. She wore a long thermal top, then a fleece-lined sweater, topped with a vest just for the wind, and a coat on top of that. She felt comfortable, protected, ready for the cold. But when she stopped at a booth where a photographer was offering free winter portraits, she posed happily, until she saw the printed photo. She didn't look older. She looked smaller. Not petite, but diminished, almost buried inside the thick layers she thought were helping her. Her waistline had vanished. Her posture looked stiff. She said to her friend, half joking, "Where did I go?" But the moment stayed with her. For women over 60, this isn't just a fashion issue, it's an emotional one. When you lose sight of your shape, you begin to lose sight of your presence. You become focused on staying warm, staying safe, staying comfortable, and you forget that your silhouette carries dignity. You deserve warmth that honors your shape, not hides it. That's why the new innovations in 2025 winter wear are so groundbreaking. Clothing designers have finally begun paying attention to the needs of seniors, creating pieces that warm without adding bulk. Lightweight thermal fabrics now trap heat without stacking up layers. Thermal light quilting uses micro-hollow fibers to retain warmth with a fraction of the heaviness. Ergonomic seams follow the body's natural curves, giving structure without stiffness. Coats now offer warmth equivalent to older padded styles but with half the thickness. These innovations mean you can stay warm without feeling wrapped like a parcel. Solindra experienced this firsthand when she replaced her fleece and vest combo with a modern thermal underlayer designed specifically for women over 60. Suddenly she didn't need 3 pieces to stay warm. One high-quality layer did the work. For the first time in years, she could put on a coat and still see her shape beneath it. She said, "It felt like getting myself back." Here's the good news. You don't need to stop layering, you just need to layer smarter. Start with a lightweight thermal base. Add one textured piece for interest. Then finish with a structured coat that brings your natural lines forward. This approach warms without overwhelming. And before we move on, here's your teaser. The next winter mistake is one most women never expect, and it's hiding in a piece almost everyone owns. Mistake 3. Choosing chunky sweaters that add texture where you don't want it. When winter rolls around, chunky sweaters seem like the most comforting thing in the world. They feel cozy, protective, and familiar, like wrapping yourself in a warm memory. But for many women over 60, those thick, textured knits unintentionally highlight areas of the body you'd rather soften or smooth out. Heavy cable patterns, thick ribbing, and bulky yarns create deep shadows that settle right where mature skin tends to be most delicate. Around the neckline, across the chest, and along the collarbone. Instead of creating warmth with elegance, these sweaters can add visual weight and emphasize lines you're actually trying to minimize. Aging skin reacts differently to texture than younger skin. As the skin becomes thinner and naturally loses some firmness, it reflects light in a softer, more diffused way. When you place harsh, chunky patterns close to it, especially near the neck and upper chest, the contrast becomes more noticeable. The sweater pulls light in unpredictable directions, creating shadows under the chin and across the collar area. Even if you feel absolutely wonderful inside, the sweater's texture can make your face appear more tired or stern simply because the knit creates lines where there weren't any. This is exactly what happened to Solindra Hale with her favorite winter sweater. She adored that piece, deep aubergine, thick cable patterns, beautifully warm. She'd worn it every winter for nearly a decade. But last year, while taking a photo with her daughter at a winter fair, she noticed something that bothered her. Her sweater seemed to exaggerate the small lines on her chest. The ribbing around the neckline created a shadow that made her neck appear shorter. And the heavy knit added bulk in a way that made her upper body look broader than it was. She stared at the picture later that night and realized the sweater she loved was working against her. It felt comfortable, she said, but it didn't look comforting. That moment inspired her to start paying closer attention to fabric rather than pattern. She began testing smooth knits, soft merino blends, fine-gauge cashmere, jersey weight wool, and cotton modal winter blends. These smoother fabrics draped gracefully without clinging. They reflected just enough light to make her neckline look softer and her collarbone more elegant. Instead of highlighting the textures of her skin, they created a gentle, flattering illumination. This shift isn't just about comfort, it's about how you want to feel in your clothing. Smooth knits bring a polished calmness to your silhouette. They don't add unnecessary bulk. They don't exaggerate lines. And they don't compete with your features. For many women, switching from chunky knits to soft, even textured sweaters has become one of the easiest winter upgrades. There's also a rising trend you've probably heard whispers about: glow knit fibers. These modern fabrics are designed specifically to soften the look of mature skin by diffusing light. They don't shimmer, they glow. They smooth out harsh lighting, creating a gentle lift that helps the neckline and chest area look more refreshed. These sweaters are becoming incredibly popular among women over 60 on social media, not because they're trendy, but because they work. They provide warmth without the bulk and flattery without the fuss. One of the biggest wins. Glow knit fabrics pair beautifully with silver hair, salt and pepper tones, and even warm brunette hues. They create a visual balance that makes the face appear brighter and more open. When Solindra tried her first glow knit sweater, a soft rose beige blend, she felt an immediate difference. She looked like the version of herself she felt inside, warm, alive, and present. So if you've been wondering why your winter outfits don't feel as flattering as they used to, your chunky sweaters might be the reason. You don't need to give them all up. Just introduce a few smoother, softer pieces that allow your natural radiance to shine through. Now let me ask you something personal. Which winter fabric do you avoid? Share it in the comments. Your insight could help another woman discover the comfort and confidence she's been missing. Mistake 4. Holding on to winter coats that no longer flatter your shape. Winter coats are one of the easiest items to hold on to for far too long. Unlike tops or scarves, they're not worn every single day indoors. They're expensive, they feel sentimental, and they're often purchased during meaningful moments, after a big promotion, a holiday trip, or a special season in life. Because of that, many women over 60 keep their coats for 10, 15, even 20 years without realizing how much those coats have changed. Fabrics soften, padding shifts, and once structured shoulders begin to slouch. What used to feel elegant can gradually turn into a coat that collapses around your frame instead of supporting it. When you reach for the same coat year after year, it becomes familiar, comfortable even. But familiarity can hide the truth. Older coats rarely hold their original shape. Over time, the lining loosens, the insulation compresses, and the seams relax. Instead of gently lifting your posture, the coat begins to sink downward. This creates what many stylists call the collapsed look, a look where the coat wears you instead of supporting you. And because winter lighting is already less flattering, a collapsed coat can make you appear more tired or weighed down even when you feel bright and energized. This was something Solindra Hale discovered unexpectedly. She had a charcoal wool coat from 2009 that she adored, a coat she'd worn through harsh winters, long commutes, and countless family gatherings. To her, it represented stability and memories. But last winter, while walking with a friend downtown, she caught her reflection in a storefront window and froze. She didn't recognize the shape she saw. The shoulders drooped, the waistline ballooned slightly, and the fabric clung in all the wrong places. It made her look tired, not because she was, but because the coat was no longer giving her the structure she deserved. A few days later, she brought that coat into a tailor to see if it could be revived. The tailor gently explained that the padding and internal structure had worn down too much over the years. Even if they altered it, it wouldn't support her posture the way a modern coat could. That was a moment Solindra didn't expect. She felt sudden emotion, almost guilt, about letting go of something that had been with her for so long. But then she realized something deeply personal. If I've grown, changed, and evolved in these 15 years, shouldn't my coat reflect the woman I am now? That thought opened the door to a small transformation. She began exploring newer winter coats, not for trends, but for structure. She discovered that 2025 winter fashion has quietly shifted toward shape-restoring coats, designed specifically with posture, mobility, and alignment in mind. These new styles use lightweight internal panels to subtly lift the shoulders, shape the waist, and lengthen the appearance of the torso. They aren't tight or restrictive. They're supportive, like a gentle reminder to stand tall. Many of these coats are also created with senior comfort in mind. Softer linings for sensitive skin, lighter zippers for easier grip, and warm but light materials that don't overwhelm the frame. When Solindra tried on her first modern shape-restoring coat, she felt an immediate difference. It wasn't dramatic, it was grounding. The coat sat on her shoulders the way a good friend offers support, quietly, effortlessly, and without pulling her down. Her silhouette looked more balanced, and her posture felt naturally lifted. She said it was the first time in years she wore a coat that helped her feel seen rather than hidden. And that's the heart of this mistake. Winter coats shouldn't just keep you warm. They should help you feel present, confident, and aligned with who you've become. You've lived through too many seasons, too many memories, too much growth to stay wrapped in a coat that no longer mirrors your strength or grace. If your coat feels too heavy, too shapeless, or too sentimental to let go, but you no longer feel good in it, it might be time to ask, does this still reflect me? Because the truth is simple and deeply important. You deserve a coat that reflects the woman you are now, not the woman you were 20 years ago. Mistake 5. Wearing scarves that shorten the neck without you realizing it. Scarves are one of winter's sweetest comforts. They feel protective, familiar, almost like a soft reminder of warmth during the coldest days. But for many women over 60, the way scarves are styled, and the kinds of scarves chosen, can unintentionally shorten the neckline and visually close off the face. It's subtle, and because scarves feel so cozy, it's easy to miss what's happening. Yet stylists say that the most common winter scarf style worn by seniors can reduce the visual length of the neck by nearly 35%, simply because of the way thick fabric gathers beneath the chin. Here's why this matters. As we age, the skin around the neck, chest, and jawline naturally becomes softer. Winter lighting, which is cooler and harsher, already casts deeper shadows. When you wrap a bulky scarf too close to your face, especially wool or cable knit styles, it creates stacked horizontal lines. Those lines cut across the collarbone, push up toward the chin, and visually compress the space between the shoulders and the jaw. The result? A shorter-looking neck, a heavier-looking upper body, and a face that appears more closed-in than open. This is exactly what happened to Solindra Hale. For more than a decade, she treasured a thick wool scarf gifted to her by a close friend. It held meaning, warmth, and memories. She wore it faithfully every year, tying it the same comfortable way, looped once, tucked firmly inside her coat. It kept her warm, so she assumed it also looked good. But one afternoon, after a casual coffee outing, her daughter sent her a candid picture. Solindra was smiling widely, but the scarf was sitting high and stiff around her neck, crowding her jawline and compressing her neckline. Her face looked smaller, almost boxed in by the thick wool. Even her shoulders looked more rounded because the scarf had built up so much volume right below her chin. Her first reaction wasn't embarrassment, it was surprise. "I felt light that day," she said. But the scarf made me look the opposite. Curiosity led her to experiment at home. She tried folding it differently, wrapping it lower, letting it drape. But the truth was simple. The scarf's heavy texture and bulky shape were creating harsh lines no matter how she tied it. So she explored alternatives, not to replace memories, but to honor her features. She tried soft drape scarves in cashmere blends, airy modal winter fabrics, and gentle knits that didn't puff up around her neck. These lighter fabrics fell in vertical lines instead of gathering in thick, horizontal stacks. They naturally elongated her neck and gave her collarbone room to breathe. The difference was immediate. Her face looked brighter. Her jawline looked softer. The scarf wasn't competing with her. It was complementing her. And this isn't just Solindra's discovery. Across the US, stylish seniors are embracing the 2025 fluid scarf shift, a movement toward scarves designed to open the face and lengthen the neckline. These modern winter scarves focus on gentle draping instead of thick layering. They keep you warm while allowing your natural silhouette to shine. They don't pile up under the chin or create sharp folds. Instead, they fall gracefully, adding movement and softness to the upper body. A lighter scarf doesn't mean less warmth, it simply means smarter warmth. Fabrics today are designed to insulate without bulk. A long, fluid scarf can be wrapped once around for warmth but still drape down beautifully, creating flattering vertical lines. These lines subtly elongate the neck, lift the face, and offer a more elegant silhouette, especially under winter coats that already add some structure. If you've ever felt like your face looks smaller or more crowded in winter photos, your scarf may be the reason. Try swapping heavy knits for soft drapes. The goal isn't to lose warmth, it's to give your neckline and face the space they deserve. Now tell me, do you have a winter accessory you can't let go of, even if you suspect it's not flattering anymore? Share it in the comments. Your story might spark a winter transformation for someone else. Mistake 6. Relying on heavy practical winter shoes that add visual weight. Winter shoes can quietly shape the entire look of your outfit, and most women over 60 don't realize how much impact they have. When the cold season arrives, the priority naturally shifts to safety. Shoes that protect against slipping, keep your feet warm, support your arches, and feel steady on unpredictable winter ground. For years, that meant one thing: heavy, bulky boots. Thick soles, wide shapes, hard rubber bottoms, and clunky designs that felt like the only practical choice. These shoes get the job done, but visually they can add a surprising amount of weight to your silhouette. They shorten the leg line, widen the foot, and create a grounded, heavy finish that makes even a beautiful winter outfit feel stiff or bottom-heavy. The truth is, this isn't anyone's fault. Women over 60 choose these shoes because they feel safe, not because they want to sacrifice style. And for a long time, there simply weren't better options. Fashion didn't consider older women's mobility needs, but that's finally changing. In 2025, winter footwear has stepped into a new era. Designers have begun creating lightweight stability shoes that combine the warmth and traction seniors need with a slimmer, more elegant profile. These shoes use modern materials that are warm without being bulky, flexible without being flimsy, and supportive without looking orthopedic. The difference in appearance is subtle but powerful. The leg looks longer, the step looks lighter, and the entire outfit instantly feels more polished. This trend has become huge among women 60+ on Instagram, especially within the comfortable chic community that celebrates aging with confidence rather than compromise. Solindra Hale was one of the women who didn't realize her shoes were dragging her style down. She'd worn the same thick winter boots for nearly a decade. Solid, black, practical. They felt safe when walking on icy sidewalks, and she didn't think twice about them. But during a shopping trip with her daughter, she tried on a pair of modern stability winter shoes with a sleeker, tapered profile. The difference was immediate. They felt lighter, hugged her foot in a supportive way, and gave her stride a newfound ease. She looked in the mirror and smiled, saying, "I didn't know comfort could look this good." When she wore them out later that week, she noticed her silhouette looked more balanced, and she felt less weighed down, physically and emotionally. This is the beauty of today's winter footwear innovations. You no longer have to choose between safety and style. You can have both. Look for shoes with slimmer toes, softly tapered sides, lighter soles with strong grip, and built-in arch support. These details keep you steady without visually widening your feet or shortening your legs. If you've been relying on the same heavy winter boots for years, it might be time to explore the new options available. Shoes designed to protect you while also lifting your look. So let me ask you, do you own a pair of winter shoes that feel safe but make your outfits look heavier? Share your story in the comments. It might help another woman find the balance she deserves this winter. As Solindra moved through this gentle winter transformation, something unexpected began to shift inside her. She wasn't chasing youth. She wasn't trying to erase time or pretend she was the woman she used to be years ago. Instead, she chose pieces that made her feel alive, like her presence mattered in every room she stepped into. She dressed in ways that allowed people to see her warmth, her personality, her quiet confidence. Winter stopped feeling like a season where she had to hide beneath layers or shrink inside dark colors. It became a season where she could express herself with softness, intention, and ease. For the first time in years, she felt like she wasn't waiting for spring to feel beautiful again. She felt beautiful now, in the heart of winter. Every small wardrobe shift, lighter colors, smoother knits, supportive shoes, thoughtful layers, brought her closer to the woman she still was inside, vibrant, elegant, capable, expressive. And something else changed too. The world responded differently. People noticed her sparkle again. Her granddaughter said she looked bright, a stranger complimented her coat, and even her own reflection began to look familiar again. Not younger, just unmistakably her. This is the real message of winter fashion after 60. It's not about doing everything perfectly or tossing out your old favorites. It's about choosing pieces that honor who you've become. It's about letting your natural radiance come forward without fighting the cold or settling for clothes that dim your light. And it's about knowing that you deserve to feel beautiful in every season of your life, not just the warm ones. If this video has inspired you, even in the smallest way, I want to ask you for one gentle favor. Before we wrap up, tap the hype button. It helps push this message out to more incredible women over 60 who deserve to feel seen and celebrated. And if any moment in this video made you nod, smile, or say "that's me," go ahead and like the video as well. It truly makes a difference. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications, so you never miss another episode of Ageless Style. We create these videos for you, your confidence, your expression, your joy. And before you go, tell us in the comments, which winter mistake surprised you the most? Your story might inspire another woman who's been feeling hidden or overlooked this season. Thank you for being here, for sharing your time, and for being part of the Ageless Style community. You are seen, you are valued, and you are absolutely beautiful. Today, tomorrow, and in every winter still to come.